Live. Inspiration Nation, hello. Lee Kemp here for another week on a podcast. Jose Noya is here. Ryan Boniface sadly not with us this week. He is off getting his hair cut, which he felt was more important than talking to us too, which I can completely understand and appreciate. But he'll be back with us
Haircut? You
next
sure it's a
week.
haircut? I didn't check the chat. Was it a haircut? No, come on. It wasn't just a haircut.
True story.
It was a haircut.
He's already booked in. You know what it's like trying to find time to fit stuff in around a busy schedule. And you,
Yeah, I
Jose,
suppose you have your
would be
haircut, don't you?
once in a while. You would be unavailable tomorrow, so I picked my favourite, and then I decided that I felt bad for you, so I put my favourite to one side and I went with you instead, Jose.
God, that was very complicated, but I understood
Wasn't
it.
it?
I was thinking, where's he going with this?
I was digging a hole there. It got a bit mental. It got a bit mental.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
Anyway, Jose, first question is, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And how are you, Lee? You good?
I'm good, thank you. And second is, what are we talking about this week?
Right, I've got a quote from C.S. Lewis, actually, and I'm going to just say it. So here it is. So, to be happy at home is the end of all human endeavour. The sun looks down on nothing half as good as a household laughing together over a meal, or two friends talking over a pint of beer, or a person alone reading a book that interests them. And all economics, politics, laws, armies, and institutions are only valuable insofar as they prolong and multiply such scenes. I like that, the way that's written. It's really cool. And this is from C.S. Lewis, and I got it through my awesome email from one of my friends called James Clear. And what I love about this, Lee, because I know I want to give you some time to sort of think about it, because I know I don't want to just throw you the ball. I've decided that I'm going to stop doing that.
Is this like your New Year's resolution that we don't do?
I was going to say I don't do resolutions, do I? I don't. I've just decided right now. Now, for me, this is really cool because sometimes we can overcomplicate life. And for me, I really like this bit about, as the sun looks down, nothing half as good as a household laughing together over a meal. I love that. Or two friends talking over a pint of beer. I love that because I love Guinness. And a person reading alone, reading alone a book that interests them. I think all those things just resonated with me so well. And I really like this because when it talks about economics, which are really difficult right now, the politics are really difficult right now. Laws, I'm not an expert on law, but laws are there to help, but sometimes they don't. I think armies and institutions are only valuable. This is a bit about are only valuable insofar as they prolong and multiply such scenes. And I really like that because it feeds into that happy home, happy place where we can feel safe and have these moments where we can just connect with each other as families, as friends. And I think it's really powerful. That's where I am with it. I just really loved it. Thoughts?
I like it. So I had, and I don't know if I feel the same on it now. I think it's still there. But I used to have a very conscious anchor point, which was in bed at night, Family Guy on. As you know, I love a bit of Family Guy. And once I was there, nothing else was going to happen. The day was done. Everything would wait until tomorrow. And I had 20 minutes, half an hour, however long to fall asleep, where I'd got there no matter what happened every day, no matter how good it was, no matter how bad it was, no matter what was going on, no matter how stressful it was, everything started and ended in that place. And that was like my anchor point. And actually, it wasn't all just about, go to bed and watching Family Guy, so to speak, but that's reality. And like you've said, the being home, happy with the family, sitting having a drink with a friend, reading a book by yourself, that's reality. That's what it's about. Everything else you do is to facilitate those things existing. And I think it's easy to lose sight of that sometimes, and it's hard sometimes to make time for that sort of thing. But when you're putting everything in perspective, that's what matters. I find it, especially when there's a lot going on, like having a night out with a friend, or going to seeing parents for the afternoon, or quite often me and the other half will go for a drive on a Sunday afternoon to spend a bit of time together. And I always feel a lot calmer after I've done any of those things. And I think it's almost like rebasing yourself, and a lot of that other external stuff doesn't matter so much when you're in those moments. So this really speaks to me. I think it's a really good kind of grounding and perspective making thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we can just overcompensate what I said before is that we have all these external things that come in. I want to get better at work and advance my career or whatever it is. But when it all boils down to it, it is about that moment with your friends and your family, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
when you even last night, I was just sitting there in the front room, and my wife and my daughter were just playing with the cat, like with the cat with the toy, and I thought, this is just great. Like I'm not thinking about anything, I'm not worrying about anything else. I'm just in that moment, and just that I can have that is powerful. And this is a bit about all the economics that people go on about, right? All the politics going on at the moment, right, in the world. Really, people can be quite visceral, and I try not to watch the news. As I said before, those things are designed to serve us really. Sometimes, and as long as it preserves that, that's what we're looking at. So we can have these moments with people, and we can simplify our lives to say, hey, let's go for a pint. I went out with a mate the other day because, like, sometimes with mates, Lee, you sort of set a date, don't you? If you don't set a date, it never happens, does it? It just doesn't happen. You just never get round to it. So we said, right, when we met up, we said we're going to set a date. So we set a date for the next one in a couple of months. We said, right, we'll go meet on that day because we're always pinging backwards and always on Messenger. Oh, what's the date for you? What's the date for you? And by the time you've got, it's like a month's gone past.
yeah,
So that
easily.
sitting down with him, yes, that sitting down with him was lovely. And we really it's a bit if I'd meet up with you, Lee, if you just sit down, we could just talk for ages. And it's like, you're not been away. We could probably spend a year away. When we bumped into you with the car, we bumped into each other. And it's like, we just like take off where you take off where you left off. And it's just not common. And I love that. And this thing with the family thing is really powerful because tomorrow, I said I couldn't make the podcast tomorrow on Thursday because I'm going to see Darren Brown with my daughter, who bought me a Christmas present to get some tickets to watch Darren Brown, and I can't wait for that. And again, there's those moments that enables me to do this because when the sun, this says when the sun looks down, those are the moments you're going to remember. I think when you go to the end of your life, those are things you remember. You won't remember working really super hard. And I have made sacrifices. There's definitely times when my children are younger that I worked really hard, worked late. And there's in the books, I think it's the 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware, if I remember rightly. No one ever sort of gets in love and go, I wish I worked harder. No one has said that. It's always about regret, not spending time, doing the things they wanted to do. And it's really powerful. And I think these sorts of things, like you said, they just ground us in going, let's simplify, let's just enjoy these moments because they're so important.
Yeah. And I think it's a balance. I don't think this is a let's throw out all the talk we've done before and ambition and everything like that, because I think a sense of purpose is very important for everyone. I think that's where a lot of people struggle, where they don't have that or they find other means for it. So finding a constructive and worthwhile sense of purpose, that's ultimately internally rewarding is there, and achieving your goals in work, hobbies, personal life, whatever those things are, all of that, it's all part of kind of the tapestry. But I think that, as we said there, the where happiness lies and enjoying those moments when they're happening and using them to put everything else in perspective, because when you are pushing a lot of things, it's very easy to get lost in them, and you put disproportionate amount of thought into them or disproportionate weight into them. When you've got challenges that you're dealing with and whatever they are, they're important to you, but sometimes those taking a moment out moments help put them in perspective as to how really important, and you can almost reframe how you're dealing with things and deal with them better and deal with them more constructively because you're coming back to those things. But I think it's important, like we said with those, when I've certainly said to you when I first really started to get into social media a bit more in terms of Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and all that, is I saw a lot of this, every minute counts, every minute you must be productive, every minute you're learning or you're working, and if you're not, you're throwing your life. And it was just constant doing without a moment for enjoying or reflection or family, all that sort of stuff. And I think it's getting that balance right on everything and knowing where it all is. And I think those for me, and I did, you sat me down many years ago, and basically everything I did revolved around my job and nothing else. And if that was a struggle, everything was a struggle. And we built up that pattern, didn't we, where I built in lots of different things that were important, and spending time with friends and family was one of those things, which is what this is. And it's been there ever since, and it's a really key part of that makeup. And I think it's the easiest one to let slip. And I think you have to be quite disciplined with yourself to keep that in focus, like everything else.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's really powerful. You say that you still go back to that moment, which is
I kept that
really
the little
powerful, isn't it?
diagram we drew. I had that in a drawer for years and years and years.
Wow, that's the power, though, isn't it? It is a reframe. It is a reframe,
Yeah,
and that's. But we can all lose it. We can definitely do it. And I know I worked hard, and we all work hard. But there was times when I thought, oh, I did work super hard. You sacrificed some weekends and all that. And when I look back, I think, was it worth it? But then, I'm in a place now where I'm really happy. If I hadn't have done that, would I be here? I don't
and this
know.
is why I frame
We
that
can't
bit.
ask that. We can't ask that question, right? Yeah, the purpose
We've
thing you said,
talked
right?
about, wherever it is, sometimes you do need to make sacrifices, but make them consciously, not unconsciously. Because there's lots of stuff that both me and my other half do work-wise. One is because we've both got ambitions we want to fulfill. We want to know that we're giving stuff our best, but also we're building for our future so that we can really enjoy those moments together as we go forward. So but again, that's ultimately that is fueling those moments more than anything else. That's the purpose behind it all.
Yeah, love that. I don't know if you watched that series. Oh, welcome, Painhammer. Thank you for liking live, by the way. Thank you so much. I see you. Thanks, Painhammer. Appreciate you. Just saying, your voice comes on the lives. Fantastic. Oh, did you watch the documentary series Being Gordon Ramsay? Did you watch that?
No, it's on my list because a few people. I was talking to someone last week actually, and they recommended it to me.
It's really inspirational, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. It is excellent. There was one thing I will say something about it. It doesn't
That's right. You
spoil the
talk
whole thing.
freely. It's fine. Go on.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool what he's built. It's ridiculous what he's built, and what he builds in that show is fantastic. However, he does talk about regret, and he does talk about his children, and he talks about that he did go, full tilt, and then with some of his children, he didn't spend time with it. Does something he does regret, and it hits hard. And now he's got a younger child at 18 months, and you can see he's now pivoted to going, I need to have time with my family because it is really important. So even though he's running these massive projects, I mean, you'll see it when you watch it, it's fantastic. He's now carving out that time. He's now probably delegated a bit of more responsibility out and going, you got to do that. And I'm going to spend time out here. Although his schedule is absolutely crazy. So it's really powerful to see someone like that because he's got this persona of, hard hitting, hard working, but actually he does express some vulnerable moments, and that was one of them. And I thought that's really powerful from someone like that. I thought that was really powerful. And it's shaping now who he's become and being really conscious, like you said, Lee, of conscious of the choice, saying, okay, I have these massive businesses, but I do need to make sure that I don't repeat that error and that I have these moments. But you can see it totally when he's at home with, obviously it's recorded and it's filmed and it's edited, okay. But let's just imagine that is reality, and there's probably some truth in it, that he is definitely, you can see that come across in the documentary. Yeah.
No, it's good. I know we'll watch that, and it'd be good to see it for that aspect as well. It's about him setting up the rest of the London restaurant, isn't it? It's at the.
I didn't want to say. I don't,
no,
yeah,
I know,
it's
huge. People I was talking to, the Lucky Cat, isn't it? So the plan is I'm going to watch it, and then a couple of people we're going to go there, but they've said watch it first, and then we'll go there after the way.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah, yeah. It's not cheap. Yeah, but it's well worth it. I mean, yeah, it's not worth it. It is worth it. I'd love to go. I mean, anyway, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm going to leave it with you on that.
No, I'll watch, and I'll
But
share back some thoughts. Feels like that's an episode to get to once I've watched it.
We could do that. We could do that. Maybe we get Ryan to watch it as well, because I think it's really inspirational. Actually, I think it's a really, really inspirational program. And whether you love him or hate him, because he's that type of character, there's no doubt about it. He's built amazing things, and he has a high level of, what's the word? High level of commitment, expectations of himself.
Because obviously I know who he is, but I'll be honest, I've not really watched any of his previous programs with any great detail, so it'll be an education for me on multiple fronts.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, well, that's it really. So going back to the original, it's not really a quote; it's really a sort of almost like poetry, isn't it? The way it's written, this passage by C.S.
Exactly
Lewis.
what it is. It's good, and I mean, I am going to. Where I know we're Let's see how we're doing on time. I don't
We
want
out,
to
out of
cut
time.
us
What's
off.
the time?
No. I'm
No,
keeping
we
an eye.
cut
We're
us off
good,
time.
but I'm keeping an eye on it because I faux parred us last week, didn't I? We got cut
Yeah.
off at the end. Everyone who was listening.
We got carried away. Actually, it was a really good episode, wasn't it? We got carried away,
It was
but I thought it was great.
fantastic.
We could have gone for an hour on that one. I think, yeah.
Easily, but no, we're good. But when we do get to takeaways, mine is so this evening when we're done with this, I'll go, I'll make dinner. I think I've heard everyone get back from work while I've been on doing this, and we'll sit
Nice.
and we'll watch some TV and we'll eat our dinner and we'll chat about the day. And I think I'll be very conscious of how much I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know you will do, and you will watch it. It's really cool. So I couldn't stop watching it. It was like that. I wanted to watch the next one and the next one. I don't usually do that with stuff, and it was really, really good. So definitely a good watch. Definitely, and watching it through the lens of inspiration for me because I like inspiring stuff. So it was just like, wow, that's pretty impressive. High standards, but really cool. And there's some other great characters in there that you'll see. But yeah. I'm done really. I think are we done? I think I'm out now. I don't know. But what about you, Lee? Anything else that you want to add?
I've never known Jose be out of words. So just 1 second, because I'm asking my good
Friend chat.
Yeah, with the meaning of.
Did you type in or was he listening?
No. I typed it in.
Oh, you're very good at typing. Jeez,
I did that earlier when you were talking. I did it. I'm not terrible at typing. It's one of my worst things in the world. But it says the implications of the phrase, and it's got 4 points. One is the ultimate goal. So the end refers to the final goal or person. The final goal or purpose. See, I can't read either, as well as not type. Implying that all other achievements, business, politics, travel, are merely means to this rather than ends in themselves. Which I think is the key takeaway for both of us on that. The importance of domesticity highlights that family life, friendship, and personal contentment are the highest forms of success, placing higher value on daily intimate relationships and public recognition. And I think it's both. It says in there because it talks about the friends, the family bit, and the sitting, reading a book by themselves. And it's funny. I was talking to someone the other day because the only time I really read is when I'm on holiday because I feel like that's where I've got the time for it. But it's like that's like, oh, I've actually got time for me. Right, let's get a book out. Let's read it. And it's a one of those important things where I think it's like, right, you've made it. Take a breath. Now you can do that. But I want to try and up that this year, as we talked about. Purpose of work. So C.S. Lewis has suggested all societal, I guess it's the same thing, infrastructure, railways, government, factories exist so people can be safe and happy in their own homes. I think that's completely true. All of that exists, doesn't it, to give us a good standard of living. And contentment over ambition. The phrase suggests that chasing endless external ambition often leads to unhappiness, while finding satisfaction in one's current humble environment is the truest form of achievement.
I love that because it's so true, isn't it? Because we come in with nothing, we go out with nothing. We're building these things, and it's good to it's good to try to leave some behind. But ultimately, did you enjoy your life? I mean, did you? And I think it's such a good thing. And of course, you got that purpose because you want to be driven.
And
you
that's
want
part of that enjoyment. The last summary of my book, it's got essentially it's a call to recognise that the daily life we build, the care we provide, and the peace we cultivate with loved ones is the most important work in the world. And I agree with that. It's not a point of just I'm going to sit and not do anything because it's foolish to put too much effort into things that aren't just contentment. There's a balance there on everything, but it is what I think you work to build those peaceful moments, that contentment. You have to work to make that happen. But again, that's the end. Like it says at the start, the ultimate goal is getting to that place of contentment, whatever it looks like for you, and just keep inside of that. And as we talked about before, and I like this in the contentment over ambition, as you know me, I'm ambitious. There's lots of things I want to do. We've talked on this endlessly about things that have been achieved, even just over the last 7 years doing a podcast with us all. But there's not a moment during that or before that when I was building blocks and building blocks and building blocks. And sometimes, not even building blocks, just keeping head above water, where I wasn't generally happy day to day with what was happening. I found things to do that I enjoyed that gives those kind of contentment moments away. And I think I will continue doing that. So I think it's not just building to where you get to that place, but it's finding that contentment as you're building more of a safety net or a cocoon or a platform, whatever it is that enables you to do that.
Yeah, along the way, isn't it?
That's it. Little incremental chunks. That's what life's all about in everything.
I love that. How much time we got left? How much time we got left?
We've got
Sorry,
enough
Lou.
if you want to say something else.
No, because it reminded me when you were talking about the work, and it reminded me of Stoic philosophy. I think it was Marcus Aurelius, and he's talking. I mean, he's philosophizing about a guy. And a guy says, "Why do I have to work?" Well, look at nature. It does work. You know, if you look at nature, the bees work. You know, but they do rest, right? They do. They collect honey, then they rest, and so there's the rest and the play and the work. You know, you look at animals; they rest and they play and they work. So there is a pattern to this. You know, like you said, Lee, I think what resonated was like, why would I just sit and do nothing when actually our nature is to do some type of work, right? And I love that. But what type of work are you going to choose? The purposeful work that you can rest and then enjoy the simple things in life, i.e., sitting down with your family, enjoying a meal, going out with your mates, having a good chat, you know, and really enjoying those moments that you created because you put in that work. But you're doing it everything. If you watch nature, which I'm really keen on these days, and especially that sort of stoic way, when you watch nature, nature doesn't stop. It just stops, rests, rests at night, and then they come back out and they start work again. It's just a natural rhythm of life, and I think that's what we're going along with.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of
sense.
And it's
right.
We talked before, like from and we did it in a work capacity, and we've done it for project stuff and that as well. But like when you've got a big goal, you break it down into chunks and you make it bite sized, and you don't achieve through one massive action. It's all the little steps. And I think it's almost saying the other way. Your kind of rewards, your those peaceful moments, whatever. Break that, enjoy that incrementally in little chunks as well. Don't put it off. Don't wait until there's a massive blowout of celebration in your head where it all gets realized. Do that that's one of those little chunks along with everything on the way, and it all snowballs.
I love that. Even like now when I finish work, when I go off this podcast, I'm going to just like shut the laptop down, go downstairs, have something to eat, and just like sit with the fam and just like sit on my beloved and just just sit there and just enjoy the evening. Really having that. I think that, like you said, it's that whole sacred time where you're going to spend that time. Like 2 nights a week, I'll go out and play tennis, or but this time is to sit here and do this. But that's what life's all about, isn't it? 100%. And that's why I love this. Why I love this quote. Yeah, love that.
That's it. That's this week's episode, and I'll say this to the AI that will be creating a little blurb for us: is this week's episode is called "That's What Life's All About."
Oh, I love that. Oh, it's great. Should we do some takeaways then?
Yeah. Well, I've done mine. I've hit it with you already. I'm gonna.
What did I take? I think I did, didn't I? Didn't the stoic thing was my takeaway, really? I suppose, wasn't it? Sort of reflection. So just really that you're going with the rhythm of nature. That nature doesn't sit there and do nothing. It does work, and then it just rewards itself. Like I referenced the bees, didn't I? They still rest at night. They don't work 24 hours a day. Like you said on social media, they do rest, and animals do play, and so. That's what I'm going to go with it. That's going to be mine. But I'm going to leave a question for the audience.
Okay.
Thinking about what we talked about in C.S. Lewis's quote, that's what I'm saying. Thinking about C.S. Lewis's quote, how are you going to really enjoy those moments? Where you sit down with your family, or sit down by yourself and have that you time. It doesn't have to be a book, because Lee doesn't really like books, but he's just admitted that on holiday he absorbs that time, which is lovely. When are you going to take that time for you and just have that time for you, your family? And simplify and just enjoy that time, which I think is really important. I remember even Gordon Ramsay has to have downtime. That's what I'm saying.
And I was going to say, this is what mine looks like, Jose. This is what mine looks like.
You got an Xbox? Have you got an Xbox One S? Is that a One S you've got?
It's whatever it is.
Was it the new one?
Whatever it is. Is it an X? And it's the smaller one of the two I've got.
Is it the white one with the fan on?
Yeah.
Because I'm after one of them, because I want to play a game called Killer Instinct. I'm after a cheap version of that, because there's one game all I want to play is on Netflix, because it's not on other platforms. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about games.
Have a look around. We'll do a different podcast on that. Right, everyone, we appreciate everyone listening. As Joe's referenced a few times, we are live right now, both YouTube and TikTok. Just put Jose Noya Inspiration. I really can't talk. Jose Noya Inspiration Nation into your Google machine. If I talk very thoughtfully, it works, and it will show you all his links there. Go on, like, subscribe. You will get notified when we're going live. You can get involved. You can ask questions right here on this podcast. We are at inspirationnation.org.uk. Our full backlog is there, and amazing. Every week there are people who go in and they will download like 300 episodes all at once. So there must be some car trips or some plane trips or some other things that are really helping people get through. If you are one of those people, if you do that, we'd love to hear your comments. Leave it wherever you are listening now. Like, subscribe, all that stuff really helps. And our favourite thing of all is tell friends and family, get them to listen. That's what helps the audience grow. And we will be back next week. Me, Jose, and Ryan with his swish new haircut. All it's left me to do is count us down. 3, 2, 1. Inspiration Nation.
Inspiration Nation.
Catch you guys later.
Catch you guys later.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So that TikTokers, thank you for joining. Thanks, Painhammer. I appreciate you.